What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So today we got a Dragon Ball character for you, Goku, the man himself, in his Kamehameha stance. So it's just when he starts the Kamehameha, when he just goes Ka, and he holds the hands sort of to his side. So it's three-quarter pose on the face, and his shoulder is kind of underneath his chin. So three-quarter pose, it's the hardest pose of a face to draw. So just so you know, no pressure. Right, so we're going to start with his eye. So we're just below halfway. Okay, there's halfway along my page. It's the middle point, I think, approximately. And then we're just going to come down and we're going to start his eyebrow just here. And then this is going to curve across and then down a little bit, just there at the end. And of course this is the thick end of his eyebrow. And then this is going to come across this one. Of course he has a piece of fringe coming down across here, so I would recommend a pencil, because you'd probably have to rub out some of these lines, or at least colour in over them. And if I go too fast, hit your pause button. So this eyebrow is black, I'll just colour it in black. And then underneath that we have those Dragon Ball box-like eyes. So we just got to do a small line down there, like so, and a slightly longer one here. And then we're going to, you could do a straight line or a curved line depending on how you feel, but I'm going to do a slightly curved one down into there. So quite small. He's frowning quite a bit. And then his iris just here, black iris, like so. So it's normal Goku, so he just has black eye with a shine in it, like so. Okay, so we have that Dragon Ball W that's in between his eyes, just there. And of course, this one's bigger because we're a three-quarter pose. So it's skinnier on this side, wider on this side. This one's further away. So when things get further away, they get smaller. Yes, correct. Well done to the person in the front. Right, so this eyebrow, it's turned away from us, so that means it goes up this way instead of across. So it's going to go up. Like so, right? And then the side of it is going to come down, like so. And then we'll bring this one down. Kind of get skinnier as we go into there. And then his eye, so another sort of box-like eye, but it's kind of like a letter L inside here, okay? So because it's turned away, it's smaller than this eye. So it's like, comes down here, and then it comes across, like so, kind of like a letter L. And then his iris is just in here, so it's a curved line, just in there. So this eye is turned away from us. That's why we can't really see what's in here. Maybe the inside line a little bit. And of course it's dark black inside as well. And so is his eyebrow. He has a piece of fringe coming down over this part of his eyebrow as well. But we'll draw that in. His hair is black and his eyebrows are black, so you probably won't see much of the lines anyway. And of course, you should be using a pencil really, so you'll be able to rub it out. Okay, so his nose. Right, so his nose, we have a slight frown line just here. And then his nose comes down real pointy, diagonal this way. It's going to curve around down to here. So like another letter L, kind of similar to this line for his eye. And we got that Dragon Ball sort of shadow in there for underneath the nose, just there. So then his mouth starts right underneath that end of his nose here. So it's going to curve up, starting to curve up like this, up to about here, just underneath the inside of his eye here. That's how far we're wanting to take it. And then we go out like so, and then we're going to bring it down. So we're going to go down, bring it down, flush it down, sorry, and then this comes down here on the other side, so his mouth's open, he's screaming Ka, and then his bottom lip comes across and back up into there. So a particular kind of shape, curved top lip, edge of his mouth on top, we go straight down, edge here, curved bottom lip, and join them back up. And then we can see some teeth, so we curve this line in there. And then we have a curved line for the bottom teeth, just here. And the inside for his tongue, just in here, like so. Get out a line for his tongue and a couple of bumps for teeth if you wanted. Okay, he's got those Dragon Ball cheek marks, so you know, those sort of lines on top of his cheek. These up here as well, like so. And then he's got kind of a brow line or a frown line, skin sort of folding there in his brow. And then we can do the side of his face. So this is going to come right down from this eyebrow here. So it's going to come down like so. When you reach the cheek mark, this is where his cheek is. So that means this comes out further, like so. And then we start to curve in towards the mouth, like so. And then we get down to his chin, just about here, just below the mouth. And then we go down at an angle like that. And then we're going to bring it back up the other side. So we're going to go back up this way. And this is going to come up his jaw, hit the jawbone on the side, and come up to his ear, just there. So we're not going out too much further than his eyebrow here, just a little bit out beyond it. The turn for his jaw is directly underneath that eyebrow there, if you're looking to line things up, you know. So then his ear lobe is just here, and the top of his ear lines up with the top of his eyebrow, curves around there. It's diagonally connected this way, so we'll bring it down like so, and back into there. And then we've bones and ligaments inside his ear. So the easiest way, as always, as I always say, is just the letter J. Simplest way to do bones and ligaments inside an ear. But if you want to make it a bit more detailed, you can add a couple more, like so. If you're looking for accurate anatomy, you could just look in the mirror or feel your own ear. You can feel all these bones and bumps and stuff. That's what those lines represent. So now we can do his fringe. So we'll start, we might as well keep going from the ear. So we have one coming down in here, back up this way, back in here, and then we have the one comes down across his eyebrow here. Can't really see that tip of it, but of course if you color it or anything, you could add a grey sort of highlight if you wanted. You could give him silver hair if you wanted it to be Ultra Instinct. His normal form is the same as his Ultra Instinct, the hair anyway. So then So he's like one single piece of hair coming down here. And then we have a longer piece of fringe coming down this way. This one actually extends into his eye, so it goes like into his eyeball, just there. And then we bring it back up. Like so. Could go this direction. And then the next one comes down right by his eyebrow. Comes back up. And then we'll go back in this way. Right, so the rest of his hair. So the rest of those big hair spikes that are on top of his head. So the first one starts just underneath his eye here, comes out from his cheek. Like so. Back in there. Then we have a much bigger one. Like so. Bring it back in. And then we have that big massive center one that goes nearly off my page. To there. And this comes back in. And down. It's a real big shark fin. Right in the middle of his head. Then we have a smaller one, comes up right to the top of my page. And then comes back down. Into here. This is where we meet the top of his head. So that round part, like so. And he has like a single strand of hair maybe coming off sometimes like that. Classic Goku style. And then so he has another piece of hair sticking off just here. And then we have a big one that I can't actually fit the whole thing on my page. So this, if you had room, you could keep going. It just ends in a spike just out here. And then it comes back in, like so. And then one here, back in. Smaller ones now, tiny one into his ear. Okay, so his torso and kind of his clothes and stuff, we'll do that first and then we'll deal with the hands and the arms. So, coming down from his jaw here, we have his t-shirt. Just a curved line there. The blue part of his t-shirt. And then in there we have the inside line for that. That's against his skin. So this comes in. And this comes up around all the way up to here. So it goes up to the back of his head. Like so. And then we've got some like neck muscle lines just in there. And then his collarbone down here. Because his chest is off over here. So that means so this collarbone is connected to his shoulder, which comes around to his arm and his hand. So that collarbone has to go that way. And then maybe another neck muscle line just here. I forgot a chin line. And some lines at the end of his eyebrow. Just after noticing that. So, right, so the line for the orange part of his costume, so it comes to here. Back into there. Comes down a bit. And then we have the orange section that goes around his sleeve, just curves out like this, and then comes back around his shoulder, curving back this way to about there. So I'm just underneath his eyebrow now. That's how far that shoulder comes in. I'm just, if you're checking your distances. And then this sleeve will come back this direction. And it kind of curves in under his shoulder just into here. So then his back will come down this way. We're going to meet some bumps and stuff for his folds for his clothes. So it comes out, down, come out, down again. And then this will curve in towards his waist. Into about here, and then come down. And then in here we have some bumps for his blue waistband. So like coming down this way into there. And then there's some fold lines for his clothing on this. So just to show his clothes sort of folding around his body. That's actually a part of his body. It's not just, you know, floating there. So we could have another fold line just here. And then here. And then maybe another one here. So he's got that symbol on the back of his, that circle with the writing in it. So you could skip this part if you didn't want to do it because it's a bit tricky. But I'll put it in for those who are interested anyway. So we're just going to curve a circle just here. So, like so. And this kind of bumps around these folds. So it's going to bump here, bump there. Because when you have something on a piece of clothing, you got to take into account the folds as well. And then that inner line, so bring that around to there, bump it over, and then curve it up this way, like so. And then we have a bit of writing inside, so it's indecipherable, so the shapes are generally just kind of this on top, and then this comes down into here. So these are all black inside, of course. This comes around like so, bumping down, something like this, and the one beside it. Just generally trying to get that Asian looking lettering feel to it. Like so, and these are all black inside. Something like this. Okay, so we have his sleeve here. So his shoulder joint is just in here. And this is coming out to his elbow and up to his hand up here. So we'll start with the blue part of that sleeve. So it just comes out here, like so. And it goes back in, up to here, and we have a curved line for kind of the shoulder part that's kind of stretched across that piece of fabric, just there. So that's the blue part, that's the orange part, that's blue as well. There's a fold line here. Oh, and a line for his chest. Okay. So that's his torso done, right? So now we gotta attach it to hands and do his arm and stuff. So we have two lines for his shoulder. So just the end of his shoulder. Curve line there. Curve line here. And look how far out we're going. We're not too far outside his face yet. So we're right underneath his chin for his shoulder, right under his chin, and then the skin, we can just see the end of it that goes into his tricep and bicep. So the tricep is going to come out long, just out here, and then his elbow is like right there. That means his bicep is up here, and then this comes down, in like that, back in, and then maybe a line just for the bottom of that bicep just there. And there's some hatching just there for like his elbow socket part. That's the technical term. And then his forearm. So because his arm is bent, it's kind of gone in behind his bicep a little bit. So it starts here. And this goes around his wristband. And then comes down to his elbow. Like that. And we'll have some forearm lines, some sort of muscle lines in here. And then that wristband, so it comes up, bumps around, like so, on top. And then we're going to join it down to here with these two lines. And there might be a line coming across in here. So that's that blue wristband he's got on. Now, the hands. So they're tricky, it's kind of a tricky sort of pose. He's like this kind of thing. So take your time and pause a lot. So you've been warned. So the palm of his hand curves to there. The next part is bigger because it's closer to us, to there, right? So his thumb then sticks up from here. So we're going to go up this way, and then we're going to bring it around the top, down like so. Then we go out and down like so. And then he has like a thumbnail in here. And maybe some lines for knuckles just there. So then his index finger comes out from his thumb, just here. And the bottom of his hand is down here, just at the edge of his wrist. Just there. Okay? So now, this kind of has a bump here, and then a bump there, and then we're going to go around the top of his index finger. So this goes around like so, and it's going to come down to his knuckle here, and then we're going to go in towards his hand. And this could have some skin lines and things, maybe a line for his knuckle. And then we've got a couple more knuckles in here. And some lines going in towards his hand, and a line or two there just to show the boniness of his hand. Okay, so we can see just the tops of his finger on the other side, just in there. Okay, so that's one hand. Oh, a line just for his thumb, just there, forgot. Okay, so one hand. So now, coming out from the inside of his thumb, just about here, we have the next part of the palm for his hand. So it goes out here and up this way. This then is going to come in around on this side, and it's going to go up and like bump around and join his little finger, his pinky, which just touches that other one just in there. So it goes up and into there. So we'll go back over this side now and we'll do his thumb. So his thumb curves around, sticks out quite a bit. And goes back this way. And we might see a bit of his thumbnail just here. And this will go back this way, curve down a bit, and then go up. Like so, towards his index finger, which is all bent around. So we've all these knuckles and stuff. So we've a line for skin there on his thumb. Maybe another line there. Now we'll try and get all these fingers in the right place. So bring it across. We'll go down. And then this is going to hook around the top of his index finger and back up to there. And then we give him a bit of a fingernail just there. And some skin lines and fold lines just on the bottom of that finger. So then his next finger comes out here. Goes down then. And then we bring it down to the tip of that finger. So we've two joints here. 1, 2. And then we bring it down around. So it comes around like so. Up like this. And then we've some skin folds just in here. And a fingernail just there. And then the next one, same thing. So it comes out, comes down, like so, comes down again, and then curves around, like so. And you might have a skin fold or two, just there. And a fingernail. And maybe a bit of a fingernail just on his little finger, just there. Can't see much of that though. So then we have some lines for the palm of his hand. So like coming across here, there, and maybe this should, his little finger should join maybe there a little bit more. And then we can see his arm coming back around to the other shoulder, which is down around the back of his head. So this is just going to go this way. So we have his wristband again, and then this goes around the back of his head, jump over his hair, curve it around for where his elbow probably is. And then we can see some more of the wristband in here. Curves down like so. And then comes into the thumb. And so that's like all skin color here. That's blue. Might be some folds and things like on this one. So that goes off in there. And of course, if you wanted, you could draw like a sort of an energy ball or something in here if you wanted to do it when he's charging it up and do all lines out of it. But that's the stance for Goku and his Kamehameha in his standard black hair form. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.